Yeah, so I just mentioned to you in the introduction, we'll go through your chart, and for that, what I'll do is I'll just share the screen. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just can you see? Sorry, can you see this is your chart in front? Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, it is visible. Yeah,
Okay, so great. So you
yeah,
do have a background in basic astrology, like you're aware of it.
yeah,
Yeah. And so, who is the can which ascendant are you? Which is the house in the east direction? Can you say which zodiac are you ascendant?
yeah. The cursor says itself. It's Sagittarius.
And your sun is in the sign of?
It's in Virgo.
Very good. So your sun sign is Virgo, your
Yeah,
ascendant sign is Sagittarius, and your moon is the
Sagittarius.
sign of?
Capricorn.
Yeah. So that is your moon sign. Okay.
Yeah.
When we are doing astrology in detail, we
Mm-hmm.
like, for example, just like how I have this as the first house, I will also
Mm-hmm.
make this as the first house and analyze your moon chart. And I'll also
Okay.
make this as the first house and analyze your sun chart. So your sun sign.
Oh,
And then
sure.
let's say, for example, if a person says, is there financial success in my life? For example,
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
if it is negative in all three charts,
Okay.
in every combination, only then can you safely say that there is no financial success in your life. Or if it is
Okay.
decisively positive in all three charts,
Mm-hmm.
only then can you safely say there is infinite financial success in your life. Okay?
Okay.
So
Sure.
everyone falls in between. All right.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
somewhere in some chart they get good scores, and in some chart that is not so good, and it's their own chart. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So when a lot of factors line up, and when a lot of dashas and things line up, then you see that extreme success. So the
Okay.
probability of it is very low, and that probability is expressed in this. So we will focus on doing the analysis only on this.
Okay.
To keep it
Mm.
first of all simple, to limit the scope and to be able to derive something that is useful. So the ascendant
Sure.
represents the body, and body means
Okay.
all that we do here will have an impact on you physically in your physical world. Okay.
Okay.
And even in Gita, Krishna told Arjun that if you're looking for success in the material
Mm-hmm.
world, you
Mm-hmm.
are better off worshipping your planets. Okay.
Okay.
And if you're looking for obviously the ultimate, like you want to go to Vaikunth Dham only, then you can do Ram ka jap or Krishna ka jap or something like that. But
Sure.
what is the hypothesis? The hypothesis is that is, let's say, for example, if you have a lot of pain in the leg,
Mm-hmm.
then the whole point of your prayer and everything that you do is to alleviate that pain in the leg. So,
Okay.
so what they are saying is that you rather worship the Lord who is taking care of your leg to begin with. That is more effective.
Mm-hmm.
And then when your leg is fully healed, then you can worship without any conditions of worship the other main deities. Like, say, if you do Ganpati, then Ganpati. If you do Vishnu, then Vishnu. Or if you do some other religion, it's okay. But for Bhautics, the process given is address the planets through your horoscope. So we'll be working on this. And the first stage of working, whenever we are working on a particular planet, is to loosely see, just to get a glance of what kind of a
Mm-hmm.
that we are looking at. So this is something in German language, it is called Gestalt. Gestalt means the first overview. The minute I see the chart,
Okay.
I see. So now
Mm.
you are seeing Sagittarius, and who do you know who's the Lord of Sagittarius?
Yeah, it's Jupiter.
And where is Jupiter sitting?
Uh, in Sagittarius itself,
Yeah,
in the
so
first house.
so the
Yeah.
Lord of the first is in the first house only, right? Yeah, so
Yes.
that becomes a very, very powerful Raj Yoga.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It'll come in charts like Narendra Modi or people like that will have them. ठीक है
Mm-hmm.
that a
Okay.
very that a no, if Modi is Mars, so that will be Mars like personality. If it is Jupiter, it will be Jupiter like personality. But
Got it.
the Lord of the first is in the first house itself. ठीक है, that
Mm-hmm.
is a very, very, very powerful Raj Yoga. And there is a saying
Okay.
in Jyotish that if there is a very strong Jupiter placed in the first house only, then कुंडली
Mm-hmm.
के 1.25 लाख दोष माफ हो जाते हैं. Which means
Acha.
there could be like a lot of other problems. ठीक है.
Mm-hmm.
Like some benefic planet who's weak or some very malefic planet who's very strong. वो सब
Mm-hmm.
प्रॉब्लम्स एक तरफ होने दो. एंड सिर्फ एक दिग्बली बृहस्पति पहले हाउस में फॉर्मिंग दैट पंच महापुरुष योग विद फुल पावर रहने
Mm-hmm.
दो. That sort of takes
Okay.
care of almost everything. So which means that when I'm looking at this chart, what I'm basically seeing is that okay, this is like matlab the first, I mean the uh, first thing, the first tick
Mm.
is very
Yeah.
strong. That Jupiter is the lord of the first in the first house, and Jupiter is also lord of the other house, which is that house,
Fourth house.
fourth house, right? So fourth house is
Yeah.
like so basically Kendra and Trikon ka Swami is in the first house only. So that's a very, very powerful Rajyog. So automatically I know that this person has been given a very strong Rajyog from Jupiter. And the only
Mm-hmm.
thing we need to see is that if this person with such a strong Raj,
Okay.
if this person
Mm.
in his or her lifetime experiences a Jupiter Mahadasha,
Mm-hmm.
okay, then that Rajyog
Mm.
is now going to fructify.
Okay.
Like this person is going to really, really skyrocket. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
These are initial
Got
impressions,
it.
very quick ones, and so therefore, what I will do is I will just look at the period, and let's say
Mm-hmm.
here in the first part of it, and I will see that currently you are ongoing a Rahu Mahadasha since
True. True.
2009, and then what
Yeah.
I'm saying is that from 2027, at the age of 31, your Jupiter Mahadasha will start.
Okay.
So now the
Mm.
planet who's giving you a very very powerful Raj Yoga is going to give
Mm-hmm.
16-year Mahadasha starting from
Mm-hmm.
2027 and all the way till
October.
2023, right?
Okay.
So, which means
Mm.
that not only do you have this Rajyog, it is going to
Mm.
come in full power from that phase also.
Mm.
So, everything that you do from now right up till 2027 is basically just setting you up in that direction. Everything you learn, everything
Okay.
you internalize, everything you research on, they are just
Mm-hmm.
setting you up in that particular direction. So logically you
Okay.
want to be very mindful and conscious that you make sure you do activities in which you really really want to achieve success. So for example,
Okay.
if you don't want to achieve success in football, then I would suggest don't play football.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do what you want to achieve success in and only do that.
Mm. Mm.
Because we just have 2 years and we want
Okay.
to ensure that we have given ourselves a lot of depth, because
All
success
right.
is going to come when you have depth of understanding and
Mm-hmm.
initially. So whatever activity it is that you want to choose success in, ठीक है.
Mm-hmm.
Activity should obviously you should start eliminating the ones that you don't want first of all, right? So I
Okay.
obviously now I know that this is a chart of a person with a very very bright future.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it is all actually frankly it is almost settled here. But now we will come to the framework of confirming. Now you will say that, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you just see only this one point and not see the other hundreds of. So the answer is that the most dominant feature of this chart is this. There are of course so
Okay.
many other points to make.
Mm-hmm.
ठीक है.
Okay.
But the dominant feature of this chart is this. And then when we are looking at, okay, let's start making other points. So we want to now we want to narrow down our process of how we start analyzing. So what I want to
Mm.
first do is I want to identify the first thing that I want to identify if a planet is powerful or not.
Okay.
If the planet which is giving you Raj Yoga is powerful, then that's very good, right?
Mm.
If the planet giving you a Raj Yoga is not powerful, then
Mm-hmm.
it is not so effective, right?
Okay.
So the first thing I want to see is this planet powerful or not? Then the next thing that I want to see is that are these planets friendly or not?
Mm-hmm.
If they're friendly, then you will not only achieve that success, you will achieve that success with a lot of comfort.
Okay.
But
Mm-hmm.
if they are neutral or malefic, then you're going to
Mm-hmm.
achieve that success, but you're going to achieve that with a lot of discomfort.
Okay.
Success is very likely, but the conditions in which
Mm-hmm.
you achieve, that is what. And then the third thing I want to see is are the planets structurally happy where they are? If the planet is
Okay.
unhappy, then
Mm-hmm.
that gives loss of purpose, loss of clarity, a lot of confusion, and in
Mm-hmm.
general, call from sorry Silky sister. आई एम ऑन अ कॉल, मैं तेरे को बाद में कॉल करता हूँ. ओके ओके. सॉरी.
So, Sahil bhai, I have a question here.
या.
Yeah. So you just mentioned that अगर वो अपनी कंफर्ट वाले एनवायरनमेंट में है, किसी फ्रेंडली ग्रह से एक्सपेक्टेड है या फिर और कुछ है, देन कंफर्ट के साथ सक्सेस मिलता है या फिर डिस्कम्फर्ट के साथ.
या.
तो इजंट इट लाइक कि डिस्कम्फर्ट के साथ ही अच्छा सक्सेस मिलेगा जो लॉन्ग लास्टिंग होगा एंड दैट विल इवेंचुअली शेप यू टू बिकम व्हाट यू हैव टू बिकम. तो डिस्कम्फर्ट से ही तो वो नर्चरिंग होता है ना. आई थिंक आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable. The thing is that let's assume that in a world of equal luck, मतलब अगर सबका luck same है, then success is
ओके.
directly proportional to work ethic, and of
ओके.
course directly proportional to your internal skill sets, मतलब the skill sets that you have built over the years. Assuming luck to be as
ओके.
constant, ठीक है.
हम्म.
But so which means that your other conditions are irrelevant to that context. But now let us say for example कि आपको you are achieving the success but you also have a pain in the knee for example.
गॉट इट. राइट.
Now it may on it's not necessary, right? Like you need to have a pain in the knee to get 100 crore rupees,
ओके. गॉट
right?
इट. गॉट.
Or
इन दैट कॉन्टेक्स्ट.
yeah,
हम्म.
or that you're
या.
quarreling with your wife in the
हम्म.
process
हम्म.
of becoming. Not
या.
necessary, right? So we are looking at dharma, artha,
ना.
kama, moksha. So we are looking at all those conditions. And what happens is that,
गॉट इट.
for example, Lord Ram achieved a lot of success. So we know his name till date. But his life was not like
हम्म.
really convenient, right? Like he was king on paper, but he spent 14
राइट.
years in a forest or more than that. So, so,
हम्म.
so now he could have also been in the kingdom also, no? And done great deeds. Right. So the
हम्म.
conditions. So what Ram had is like very similar. Saturn in the fourth house, right? So Saturn,
ओके.
fourth house is house of happiness. वहीं पे जाके अगर सैटर्न बैठ जाएगा, फिर वहां से वो फर्स्ट हाउस को एस्पेक्ट करेगा. सो ऑब्वियसली दीज आर द अदर points that will start coming there. Now Saturn is not the best
हम्म.
planet to have. Ketu is not the best planet to have in the fourth house. It's not very auspicious to have Sun conjunct with Rahu. It is not good to
हम्म.
have a debilitated Mangal in the eighth house, for example. ठीक है.
राइट.
These are, like I said, these are all negative. But what is the first thing that stands out? This dude has a Raj Yoga. So
ओके.
कुंडली के 1.25 लाख दोष एक साइड पे, and this
हम्म.
Jupiter एक साइड पे. This Jupiter is
ओके.
going to dominate. Now this Jupiter in the first house gains what is known as Digbal, directional strength. Jupiter in the east,
या.
Sun in the south
यस.
gains a lot of directional
या.
strength. ठीक है. But then
या.
this Sun is also, now this Sun, if you see, he's the Lord of the ninth. That's a Trikon.
हम्म.
And this is sitting in,
हम्म.
that's a Kendra. So when Trikon ka Swami is in Kendra, that's another Raj Yoga. So automatically
ओके.
both Jupiter and Sun are giving this you a Raj Yoga. But it is
हम्म.
very
ओके.
clear that Jupiter is very strong, the Sun is very weak here. I'll tell you how
हम्म.
I'm going to that. So now logically,
ओके.
strengthening Jupiter and strengthening Sun is going to start coming to be as a remedy now for you. ठीक है. Which planets are not giving a Raj Yoga? Like for example, Mars. ठीक है. Lord of the fifth in the eighth is not a Raj Yoga. Lord of the 12th in the 8th is a विपरीत राजयोग. विपरीत
या.
परिस्थिति के बाद राजयोग.
हम्म.
ठीक है. So which means once you are pushed into the corner, then the ability to fight back is given by Mars. So it's doing a good
ओके.
job here, but it is like okay, good. Now you have Lord of the sixth in the eighth also. That's another Vipreet Raj. Now there are multiple Vipreet Raj yogs. Lord of the 12th in the eighth, Lord of the sixth in the eighth. ठीक है. So
ओके.
now so this fellow has to give the Raj Yog.
हम्म.
These people have to give Raj Yogs under Vipreet Paristhiti.
हम्म.
So what they will try to do is they will first try to create the Vipreet Paristhiti.
गॉट इट.
And the moment they create it, so you will start getting a Raj Yog from these people also and from this guy also. And then this
ओके.
guy also. Because they have created that. Right? In
हम्म.
your case,
राइट.
it is reasonable to assume that you are saying that ki only after hardship success come. Because it's a
यस.
kundi with too many Vipreet Raj Yogs. There
ओके.
are only three Vipreet Raj Yogs possible, and you have two of them, right?
हम्म।
सो दिस पर्सन सेइंग कि यार मेहनत करने के बाद ही कामयाबी है, शाम की ठंडी हवा का मजा तभी आएगा अगर पूरा दिन पसीना आया हो, इट इज रीजनेबल फॉर यू टू से ऑल दैट। ठीक है,
ओके।
बट दैट्स नॉट लाइक द रियलिटी फॉर एवरीवन इन लाइफ।
हम्म।
Okay, is what I'm trying to get at. So we'll come to the process of
हम्म।
trying to, because like I said that the ऐसे कुंडली को micro analyze करने जाएंगे, you can spend like hundreds of hours into it. We will look at it from the first of all, वो गलत नहीं होना चाहिए. If I'm saying
हम्म।
Lord of the Sixth and the Eighth is a Vipreet Raj Yoga, it will be backed by a lot of books, and not like books that like say कि एक blogger ने लिखा है, books like which are coming from hardcore theory, right?
गॉट इट।
So anyone who's worth their salt will say this is Vipreet Raj Yoga, this is Vipreet Raj Yoga. Anyone will say that. ठीक है, this is
हम्म।
not auspicious. Fifth Lord in the eighth house. Anyone will say that. This is very auspicious.
राइट।
Ninth Lord in the tenth house. Anyone who has done astrology, even I would say for 2 years, will instantly be able to see that and tell that. ठीक है,
राइट।
two in the fourth house is not very, very good. They'll say that on a splash, like in a second they'll say that. ठीक है, so
हम्म।
that part of it is done. So then where does the time go? The time goes into confirming कि जो मैं बोलने वाला हूँ वो reasonably accurate है भी या नहीं, right?
हम्म।
एंड
राइट।
हमको बोलना कैसा है, हमको बोलना है कि गुड और वेरी टेरेबल, वेरी टेरेबल इज ओनली व्हेन यू आर गिवन डेथ। ठीक है, डेथ
ओके।
का कंडीशन क्या होता है, मून इन द एट्थ हाउस वेरी पुअरली प्लेस्ड। ठीक है,
हम्म।
दैट इज नॉट देयर नाउ, मंगल इन द एट्थ हाउस कैन गिव, सो दैट्स अ प्रॉब्लम। ठीक है,
हम्म।
सो लाइक मंगल इन द एट्थ हाउस मेक्स यू मांगलिक नाउ ऑटोमेटिकली, राइट? ठीक है, अष्टम का मंगल मेक्स इट डिफिकल्ट टू, इट्स बेसिकली अ पावर्टी योग। ठीक है, मतलब
हम्म।
इसे उठाने वाला मंगल है ये। ठीक है,
हम्म।
नाउ but we'll come to that, right? Like we'll come to all of that, like is this even correct, yes, because there are so many combinations, so we'll come to that process now. All right, so first step is basically for me to understand if a planet is powerful. The next step for me to
ओके।
understand is it happy where it is. Okay, and
हम्म।
third step is to understand is it a friendly planet or a malefic planet. Okay,
ओके।
so to determine power, what I will do is I will check how far a planet is from the ascendant in terms of degree.
हम्म।
For example, what is the ascendant degree here? 16, you can see.
16 डिग्री।
And what is the sun degree here?
6 डिग्री।
Yeah, 6 or 7. This is 10
6 और
degrees too
7।
far. This is too far away.
हम्म।
So what this means is that this Lord of the ninth going in the 10th house is a Raj Yoga, but this sun is too weak.
हम्म। ओके।
Yeah. But if you compare that with Jupiter, now the ascendant is how many degrees? 16.
16 डिग्री।
And Jupiter
हम्म।
is, Jupiter is
14 डिग्री।
14 or 15 degrees. Now this is just 1 or 2 degrees. Now this is very, very strong now. So of the two
ओके।
Raj Yogas, Lord of the first in the first house and Lord of the ninth in the tenth house, the Lord of the first in the first house wala Raj Yoga is stronger and more naturally
ओके।
going to come to you than the Lord of the ninth in
गॉट
the
इट।
tenth house.
हम्म।
ठीक है, to get the Raj Yoga
गॉट
of
इट।
the ninth in the tenth house, we will have to strengthen this sun. And do we want
ओके।
to strengthen this sun? Of course, we want to strengthen this sun because it is giving a Raj Yoga, and if it is a friend who's happily placed. If the sun is
यस। ओके।
unhappy, then we will not strengthen it. So we'll see that now, right? So this,
हम्म।
so essentially in identifying degrees of each of these planets, I come to know how strong or how weak they are. And in
ओके।
identifying the Shadbal, I come to know how strong or
श्योर।
how weak they are. And what strikes out is that this retrograde Mercury has a Shadbal of 94%, which is not optimal. Okay?
हम्म।
Of course, it is combust also here, right? Like 11% of it is
11%
yeah, so
कम बस।
this Mercury should cause you problems. This Mercury will play the
ओके।
role of Badak for you. Okay.
ओके।
So now, so everything related to Mercury should also start creating problems, right? So my point is that I will combine this degree distance and this Shadbal distance to come up with a chart that looks like this. Right, this is the ascendant. I'll mark
ओके।
it in Excel. I'll have the degrees and the minutes, and then I'll sit and measure the distance. And once I measure the
हम्म।
distance, I'll get their ages. Okay, everything that is in both
ओके।
is very close to the ascendant. And
ओके।
the Raj Yog ho, Daridrita Yog ho, Dhan Yog ho, Vipreet Raj Yog ho, if it is coming from a powerful planet, you are going to experience it in your life.
Okay.
ठीक है. And obviously power is a function of the age of the planet and the shutball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now when I factor the two of them, I then see that okay, I can say with a certainty that Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu are very powerful in this chart.
Okay.
This with absolute. Now that is one. The second point is that the universal average of powerful
Mm-hmm.
planets on a per chart basis is just 1.5.
Okay. The
Which
universal
means that,
average.
yeah, which means that by universal means my universe. So when I have
Mm-hmm.
analyzed like hundreds or thousands of charts, on an average, a person has only one powerful planet.
Okay.
There are charts with no powerful planets. And then there are
Mm-hmm.
charts like this with too many powerful planets.
Okay.
Now, what happens is that when too many planets are powerful, the
Mm-hmm.
transits become very influential. Matlab, we know that this is a customer for astrology. But
Okay.
whereas people who have all weak planets, they are
Mm-hmm.
not influenced by planetary transits that strongly. उनको फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है. So even they could have the Raj Yoga, but if the power is not there, they are not going to feel it. If the Vipreet Raj Yoga is there, but the power is not there, they are not going to feel that either. And similarly, if there
Okay.
is a poverty yoga, they are not going to experience that either. So
Oh.
essentially, how many planets are strong?
Mm-hmm.
That is how much this person is more likely going to look at more than one variable in their life. कि there are too many things that are controlled which are beyond my control. ठीक है.
Mm-hmm.
So this is well above average, like significantly above average, to have
Okay.
so many planets which are powerful. Like for example, if I put like mine, so I think I have one or maybe two. ओके, और वो भी ऐसे आएगा कि एज में वो पावरफुल होगा बट फिर शटबल में इतना नहीं होगा, या शटबल में होगा तो एज में इतना नहीं होगा, पर दोनों का दोनों पावरफुल आ जाना.
अच्छा.
ठीक है. इज
Mm-hmm.
रेयर टू गेट इट अक्रॉस सो मेनी प्लैनेट्स. ओके.
Okay.
So I obviously have now, so I see Moon is the most powerful. Can you tell me which is the second
Mm-hmm.
most powerful planet in your chart?
Second would be Jupiter.
Yeah, Jupiter. Then third would be
Mm-hmm. Mars.
Mars, right? Then fourth would be Saturn,
That
and
would be
Rahu.
Saturn. Yeah.
Yeah. So now,
Okay.
obviously, like
Mm-hmm.
half of the planets are more than half of the planets are powerful. And now let's just look at what is, let's say, for example, Moon doing here. Now, Moon is the lord of the eighth house in the second house,
Yeah. Correct.
right? So, which means it is aspecting its own house.
Mm-hmm.
And eighth house is obviously house of longevity,
Yes.
right? So, Moon gives longevity here.
Okay.
Moon gives longevity of life here. And second house is
Mm-hmm.
also wealth. Eighth house is
Right.
sudden.
Certainly, yes.
Yeah, eighth house is inheritance, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay. Mm-hmm.
sudden accrual of wealth, and
Okay.
sudden disbursement of wealth also. ठीक है? Suddenly things happening. So this is Lord of the eighth in the
Okay.
second house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now the next most powerful planet is Jupiter. Lord
Yes.
of the first in the first and Lord of the fourth in the first. This is a very strong.
Fourth in the.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
So if you want to
Yeah.
know more about this, or anyone they want
Mm-hmm.
to know, so for example, how do we figure this out? You will see that Moon is the ruler of Cancer. It's
Mm.
placed in the second house. Moon has a seventh
Yes.
aspect looking at Cancer. So we know this is
Yes.
the Lord of the eighth in the second house. Similarly,
Correct.
with a Lord of Sagittarius and Pisces, this is how we know Lord of the first and the fourth in the first house. Right?
Yes.
Now, anyone who wants to know more about this, there are many ways. One of them is you just go to YouTube and put Lord of the First in the first house, and a person will come on screen and they will praise you for like half an hour. All right. Or
Yeah.
you go to Chat GPT or any of these softwares, and simply
True.
say that I'm Sagittarius ascendant and I have Jupiter in the first house. What does it signify? So they are going to interpret Lord of the First and Fourth and give it to you in a story format. But for
Yeah.
me, the interpretation is very simple: auspicious or not auspicious. Okay.
Got it.
Eighth house lord is not auspicious. So wherever this lord goes, I don't consider it to be so auspicious, right?
Right.
And therefore, in this column of gemstones, you will see I will not recommend this. So you
So
will
no moon.
no,
Yes.
don't, so don't wear silver, don't wear moti, pearl, right?
Okay.
Yeah, because you are putting the eighth lord now. You're strengthening the eighth,
Right.
right? So don't do that. Don't willingly go and strengthen the
Okay.
eighth lord. अगर willingly strengthen करना है तो ninth lord को कर दो. Make yourself lucky.
Sun.
Sun, yeah. So we'll come to that. Right now, look at what Sun is doing. Sun is Lord of the ninth and the tenth.
Hmm.
It is this Sun is very beneficial. Is extremely friendly with Jupiter in this chart also. In fact, the Sun is
Yes.
a bitter enemy with Saturn and of course Rahu Ketu. But in this chart, it is generally friendly with all planets except Saturn. So it is a
Right.
friendly planet giving you a Rajyog, but the problem is it is powerless. So how do we strengthen a planet? We strengthen a planet in astrology through wearing its gemstone.
Hmm.
So the recommendation would be to wear gemstones of sun.
I used to wear. I just removed it before a week.
Okay, yeah, but wear a high quality one.
Ruby.
Wear yeah, ruby. So this
Oh,
is the gemstone
yeah. Okay.
recommendation for sun. Similarly, if you look at
Got it.
Jupiter, Lord of the first and the fourth and the first, which is a Raj Yoga. This Jupiter is generally friendly with most planets, with the exception of Mercury and Venus in your chart. But like I said, Mercury and Venus in a Sagittarius chart are not that like Mercury is a lot of good houses. Venus is not even a lot of that good house, and Jupiter naturally also hates Venus. So it's okay. It's the ascendant
Hmm.
lord who is responsible for keeping you alive, and it is placed well. And you will see now. I want to determine if the chart, the planet is happy or not. So there are two ways in which I do it. One is Vimshopak Balan, and the other is Sthan Bal. Okay.
Okay.
So what they are doing is they are measuring if a planet is happy where it is. All right. So
Hmm.
for example, if any planet has a score of 10 or lesser, the planet is not
Hmm.
happy.
Okay.
Yeah. So even if it were to give you a Raj Yoga, it will make you miserable while giving you.
Okay.
And if it were to give you Vipreet Raj Yoga, it will give you the same way because the planet is structurally not happy. So the planet which is not happy from Vimshopak Bal theory is Venus in your chart. And the planet which is
Hmm.
unhappy from Sthan Bal theory is Mercury in your chart. So
Got it.
your unhappy planets, okay, so sorry, your unhappy planets are just two of them. The
Yeah.
remaining, like for example, if I look at Jupiter, Jupiter is happy even as per theory of Vimshopak Bal and Sthan Bal. Sun is
Hmm.
also very happy where it is. All right,
Yeah.
Moon is also very happy where it is. So the other planets are happy. So which are the problem planets? Venus and Mercury. So it is
Hmm.
impossible to recommend you gemstones of Venus and Mercury because a
Got
planet
it.
which is unhappy, you don't want to strengthen it in your life, right?
Right. Right.
And because Jupiter naturally hates Venus,
Hmm.
and in your chart, Jupiter is indeed hating Venus. So you will see that like this is Jupiter, sorry, this is Jupiter here, and this is its
Hmm.
relationship with Venus, and there is a score of -2. So bitter enemy. You will
Yeah.
even benefit from donation of Venus related items.
Okay.
Yeah, like just donating it. You will benefit from that. Okay. And
Okay.
also because you will see Venus is the lord of the sixth house.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's the lord of your enemies. So you are better off donating that. Hmm?
Got.
Now the thing with Mercury is that yes, Jupiter does not like Mercury, but I means Jupiter, this is Jupiter, and here we have Mercury. It is not liking Mercury very much.
Okay.
The problem is that the Mercury is a lord of seventh and tenth. So these are Kendra houses.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you don't want to
Yeah.
donate those lords. So you want to do Mercury का बीज मंत्र and
Hmm.
you want to do Venus ka beej mantra and donation.
Okay.
Whereas you want to strengthen Sun and Jupiter through wearing their gemstones.
Right.
Yeah. And then the other thing
Yeah.
that I will sort of see is that like, is there a planet which is like generally showing only bitter enemies. So like you will see here, like you will see like Venus, Saturn, Ketu. They are not like Ketu is like it's not really friendly with anyone in your chart. Saturn
Okay.
is also not friendly with anyone in your chart. Venus at
Mm,
least is friendly with very friendly with Mercury, but by and large, it
mm,
is not friendly with anyone in your chart. So these become your
right.
enemies, and having four, I mean, because you'll see Mars is also at a score of zero. Yeah.
Mm,
So we'll just consider Mars also, like pretty much. So having four almost powerful malefics also makes life difficult, right?
mm,
So the broader recommendation here is that the chart is got a lot of potential for huge success because
mm,
a very favorable Mahadasha is going to come to you at the prime of your youth. ठीक है, I
right.
mean, even if you would have got it at the age of 70, I would say तुम वहां पे भी बहुत सक्सेस करोगे. ठीक है. But the
Right.
fact that it is coming to you like literally just in a few years from now, 2 years from now, so you are in complete position to absolutely explode in whatever direction you choose, and preferably choose something in the field of Jupiter. It depends on Jupiter is a lot of banking, finance, um,
Mm,
education, spirituality, all of that stuff. So you can academics,
right. Right.
yeah. So you can choose those
Mm,
endeavors preferably. अभी अगर तुम ले लोगे mining, that is now Saturn का work, right? So
mm,
that might not be the most.
right.
Yeah, you could take up legal work, giving legal advice, consulting people, things like that, right? So
Mm,
just to obviously there are like other parameters also to check, but broadly I wanted to say that what we want to do is we want to put the role of a planet in the ascendant sign. For example, Sun is Lord of the ninth and the 10th, Mars is Lord of the 12th in the 8th, 5th in the 8th, etc., etc., etc. We can add another
mm,
like a column here. For example, I can add something like RCL, role in the Chandra Lagna. So what I will do in that case is I'll simply put the
mm,
moon in the first house. Okay. Now what I will see is Sun in this chart is the Lord of the eighth now,
mm,
and eighth Lord now is in the
right.
ninth house,
Mm,
right? So then I will put, let's say I'll put Lord of the eighth in H9, and I'll put this also
mm,
in Chat GPT or whatever software you're using.
okay.
And
Mm,
similarly, when I will do like, for example, I can add another column here, and now I'll put the role in the Surya Lagna, right? And I will make where Sun
right.
is sitting in the first house. And now what I will get
Mm,
Lord of the 12th in the first, right?
right.
Now I will add Lord of H12 in H1.
Mm,
And when you will do this for all the nine planets, yeah,
mm,
you will get I means like these three here and nine here. So you will get all these 27, but there are certain like these planets which are owning two houses, right?
mm,
So you will get your 36 gun.
okay.
Okay. But for the purpose
Mm,
of basic recommendation through astrology, like
mm,
gemstones, mantra jap, etc., only the ascendant sign is sufficient. But for you
okay.
who would be more interested in knowing the depth of your chart, you would need to do those additional steps, right?
Right.
So to just summarize it, strengthen Jupiter through wearing Jupiter and Sun gemstones or metals based on
Mm,
when you're wearing the gemstones, wear very high clarity gemstones. So, for example, don't go and buy a manik. It's impossible to get a high clarity ruby. You're better.
then what is
No, you will not be able to afford it. I mean, so you're better off buying a red
right?
tourmaline or a red garnet or something. You just have to Google it a little bit. Go
Okay.
for a high clarity stone like Jupiter. Like you will not be able to buy yellow sapphire. Okay, like
Mm,
a 6 carat yellow sapphire, high clarity will cost you 60 lakhs. So
got.
you go for yellow citrine, but go
Yeah,
for a
I'm already wearing one.
yeah. So go
Mm,
for a very high quality
mm,
yellow citrine. 6 carat yellow
yeah.
citrine cost you like 2,500 rupees.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, and then just wear it in gold. You can Google how to wear that. Donate
Yeah.
Venus. Donate Venus. Google that
Mm-hmm.
and do the mantra
Mm-hmm.
jap of obviously all anywhere you're seeing red like. Venus, Saturn, Ketu, Mercury, just anywhere you see that, you will benefit
Mm-hmm.
greatly if you do the Bij Mantra Jap of those planets.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course even moon because it's the strongest. So you would say कि यार मेरे को तो सारे ही बोल दिए, but unfortunately आपके बहुत सारे planets are too strong. Typically I said कि
Mm.
एक ही planet comes out to be as strong.
Yeah.
So with that, I mean, I'm just seeing that time left wala part also, but I hope that it has been. I mean, here is your dasha status. I was just seeing. Obviously, this is just noted here, and things like that. But I hope that like it's logical, clear to you, and you know how to proceed further with your chart in the future, and you know at least in the short term what to do, right?
Right. Right.
Great. Any that I mean, it's okay, right? Like things were clear for you. I mean, that's all that I.
Yeah. Yeah. Fairly. Yeah. Fairly clear. I just have one question. Can we, for once, just check D10? Like, if you can.
Like so basically, I don't want to do divisional charts because I'll
Okay.
tell you
Okay.
what, you have given me a time of 4 p.m., right? Or sorry, 2 p.m., I think.
2 p.m. Yeah. Yeah. 2
Yeah,
p.m. Yeah.
yeah. It is very unlikely that you were born at dot 2 p.m. only. You could be born at 2,
Okay.
3, 2, 4. Yeah, your divisional charts will entirely change. Like a D10 chart
Okay.
will change
Hmm.
in a matter of a few minutes. So even if 2 minutes your birth time is wrong, your D10 chart is going to be wrong. There is no point
Okay.
to
So,
do that. So minute you gave
got
me
it.
a full round number as your time, I knew it already कि you are giving me an approximate time.
नो नो, जैसे कि मुझे बताया यही गया है टाइम, और जो कुंडली उन्होंने बनवाई थी उसमें भी यही मेंशन है।
मैंने भी उसी टाइम से बनाया. आई थिंक आवर मीटिंग
हाँ हाँ।
but that time
या
divisional charts in my opinion is a slight waste of time. If Venus is a
श्योर।
malefic, it's a malefic. It doesn't matter where it goes.
गॉट इट।
You'll benefit from donating it. That will be the key message.
गॉट इट।
So,
सो दिस इज सफिशिएंट, राइट? या।
for now, I hope so for you. I'll
या।
message some things that you can do, but this is the
श्योर।
process of interpreting it. So
गॉट इट, लर्नड अ लॉट।
great, great.
या।
All
थैंक यू
right.
सो मच।
Nice meeting you the first time. So,
श्योर।
all
या।
right. Take care.
सेम लाइक।
Bye.
ओके, यू टू, बाय बाय।